Tonight, another landfill search on the horizon.
The family is at the front of our thoughts.
What we know as the Premier lays out plans to search Brady landfill for 2 missing women. Also tonight, not what the doctor ordered. A partnership to bring in dozens of physicians falls well short of the goal. Plus, a slow-moving investigation.
I remember him saying something to the effect that, who would steal turtles? I wouldn't want them.
An unusual crime has one Gimli man ready to shell out for the return of his beloved turtles.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says a preliminary search of Brady Road landfill for the remains of 2 missing women is underway. Ashley Shingoose was one of 4 women murdered by a serial killer in Winnipeg in 2022. Tanya Nepanak went missing in 2011, and investigators have long believed her remains were also put into a dumpster and sent to the landfill.
The focus that we're working on right now is Ashley Shingoose, because we have the information about the cell that we believe where she's located, but we are making plans to search for Tanya Nepanak as well.
The Premier says crews began what he called a test phase earlier this week. It involves a preliminary excavation to find out what kind of material workers will be digging through and what sort of safety protocols will need to be in place. Ground-penetrating radar and other test sampling is also underway. Kinew added they will be trying out some new methods to narrow down the search without going into details. He said the search itself will get underway later this year and more details will be coming soon. A PC plan to heal the healthcare system has fallen flat. 2 years ago, the former provincial government hired a company to recruit 150 new doctors for Manitoba. So far, it's only brought in 2. Standing by live in studio with the details is CTV's Danton Unger. So Danton, do we know what happened to this contract?
Well, the province hasn't said why only 2 doctors were recruited. It does say the company hired was paid the lowest fee possible under this agreement because it failed to meet its targets, and now the contract has been torn up.
Pleased to announce that our government has contracted a recruitment firm to recruit 150 physicians.
It was touted by the former Progressive Conservative government as a step towards healing the healthcare system. But after 2 years, the company hired to recruit 150 doctors has recruited just 2. Back in July 2023, then Health Minister Audrey Gordon announced the province had awarded Canadian Health Labs a contract valued at up to $5.25 million. 150 doctors were to be recruited and split evenly between Winnipeg, northern Manitoba, and rural communities.
I'm very confident about reaching the 150 goal.
On Wednesday, the province confirmed just 2 doctors had been recruited through the contract, both from the UK and both working at clinics here in Winnipeg. The province says Canadian Health Labs is only being paid between $25,000 and $45,000 per doctor recruited. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says the contract has now expired and will not be renewed.
This contract under the former government, bad deal, didn't produce anywhere close to what it was supposed to. So yeah, we're getting rid of it, and we're showing I think a better approach to staffing up healthcare systems.
Kinew's government has promised to hire 400 new doctors. Since being elected, 201 net new physicians have started working.
Manitoba has a physician shortage. We know that.
Dr. Nichelle Desailly, president of Doctors Manitoba, says this is a good start, but more work is needed to deal with the province's shortages.
When it comes to family physicians who are delivering a large proportion of primary care in Manitoba, our numbers are even worse at 107 per 100,000, and that's dead last in Canada.
Now, we asked the Premier if he was given any explanation as to why only 2 doctors were recruited, and he said simply the Progressive Conservative Party should explain.
So, Dan, what is the Progressive Conservative Party saying about this then?
Well, we were provided a written statement, Marilee, which reads in part, "This is yet another example of the NDP inheriting a successful PC program and setting it up to fail. The contract with Canadian Health Labs was a viable recruitment tool. They didn't try. It's a time for the NDP to stop blaming the PCs for their healthcare failures and start delivering on their election promises to Manitobans." CTV News has reached out to Canadian Health Labs for comment, and we're waiting to hear back.
All right, thanks for this, Downton. The College of Registered Nurses of Manitoba is updating its registration process to make it easier for internationally educated nurses to work here.
So it provides additional opportunities to streamline and get people on the register faster and get them into the workplace faster.
Among the changes is broadening eligibility to expedite registration for RNs currently practicing in Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, the UK, and the United States. Also, the college will accept associate degrees from the U.S. for those with sufficient practice experience. It's also created a position to support applicants navigating the registration process.
This could take it from months to hopefully weeks, is what I'm anticipating, but it does very much depend on the applicant and their specific situation.
By early fall, the college also expects to reduce time and cost for international nurses through the identification and acceptance of additional educational credential assessment services, as well as expand conditional registrations. On the wildfire front, good news for people from several northern Manitoba communities. The province says evacuation orders have been lifted for Cormorant, Garden Hill First Nation, Island Lake, and Little Grand Rapids. And in an online statement, Chief David Monius of Pimikachak Cree Nation says people are returning home there tonight as well. On social media, the town of Snow Lake says fire officials are conducting thermal scans of the surrounding area in the coming days. That data will help decide when the evacuation order there can be lifted, but essential businesses are already returning to ensure the community is ready to receive residents. The province's latest fire bulletin says there are now 161 active wildfires, up from 159 a week ago. And the federal government is now pledging an extra $45.7 million for wildfire prevention and risk assessment projects.
There's no people that want to do more about wildfires than Canadians. We are being affected every day in very severe ways. We've seen this in the smoke that clogs our cities. We've seen this in our communities that are evacuated.
The money will go to 30 research projects nationwide with the hopes of also improving fire knowledge and forestry practices. Two groups in Manitoba are getting a share of the money. The Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Centre is receiving more than $2 million for fire behavior research and public education. Chemawawin Cree Nation is getting $500,000 for wildfire management and specialized training for community members. After weeks of dreadful air quality, our province is finally seeing some relative improvement. Take a look at this. This was the view of downtown Winnipeg just 5 days ago. You really can't see many of the buildings and the horizon is pretty obscured. Now this is that same view taken this afternoon. Night and day difference. Forecasts show the smoke hanging over south and central Manitoba will push north Thursday morning, offering us in the south some relief, but it's not going to last long. Conditions are expected to worsen for the entire province by Friday morning. Health Canada says a major factor when determining air quality ratings is a measurement of PM 2.5, which refers to how many particles of 2.5 microns or less are in the air.
So you're talking about a particle size that is so small that it can infiltrate the natural filtration of your respiratory system. So it can get through your nose, it can get through your lungs and into your bloodstream at the 2.5 micron or less size.
Now, to give you a sense of just how small these particles are, human air is between 50 and 70 microns across. Dust or pollen is closer to 10 microns, meaning these particles are a quarter of the width of that. Beyond just lung irritation and watery eyes, wildfire smoke is carcinogenic and is especially problematic for children, seniors, and pregnant women. Thousands of dollars worth of fur pelts have been stolen from Winnipeg's Fort Gibraltar. Festival de Voyageurs executive director tells CTV News sometime overnight Monday, someone broke a window to get inside a building within the fort. She says approximately 140 pelts were stolen, representing between 50 and 70% of its collection. It included pelts from wolverines, bears, coyotes, and fox, some weighing more than 100 pounds. The pelts are marked with the acronym FDV, or they are stamped with the organization's toque and boots logo. Families in a Charleswood area neighborhood will soon have a new place to play. The city received a little help this morning as it broke ground on a playground in Ridgewood West. Once built, it will feature an accessible play structure with ramped access, independent play equipment, and swings. It's something area councillor Evan Duncan says the community has been lobbying for.
We appreciate having great green spaces, but at the end of the day, communities call for different types of recreation amenities.
The project is also set to include benches, a picnic table, and trees overlooking the adjacent pond. The playground is expected to cost around $230,000 and is being funded through the city's Land Dedication Reserve Fund. Construction is set to start next week and be completed late next month. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. A great night to head out to the park.
Yeah, you could call it the calm before the storms, Marilee. There's an incoming low pressure system from the west that is going to bring some pretty wicked weather by the looks of it to much of Manitoba in one form or another. Some very much needed rain, though, by the way, is headed to northern Manitoba, so much so that it's put parts of the northwest under a rainfall warning. The Lynn Lake and Brochet regions under that warning right now. Now, Environment Canada says that as much as 50 millimeters of rain is expected to fall over a 36-hour period starting tonight and ending at some point tomorrow. But all these areas in the north outside these specific warned regions will get an awful lot of rain as well. Here in the south, well, it's going to get very hot and very humid tomorrow, and that means there is the potential for severe thunderstorms. The greatest chance of this is going to be here in the southeast and the Red River Valley. I'll show you more of what we could see coming up. But let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, 22 degrees, winds from the south, the pressure's dropping, and the humidity right now, Marilee, is 52%.
Thanks, Colleen. Turtles may not seem like a typical household pet, but for one Manitoban, they are family. And now he's offering a hefty reward after he says his beloved turtles were stolen last month. CTV's Daniel Helmerson has the story.
I remember him saying something to the effect that, who would steal turtles?
Benjamin Wiesenthal has been trying to answer that question for the past 3.5 weeks after someone stole his pet turtles from inside his home south of Gimli.
One turtle I acquired in 1992 was brought in from Vancouver, and the second turtle I acquired in 2000 from Petland.
The missing reptiles are two different species of box turtles, similar to the ones seen here. Both are female and about 5.5 inches in length.
There's not much in the way of interaction between them and me, but I've always liked, reptiles.
Wiesenthal says the turtles were taken on July 19th after he went out biking for a few hours.
Following morning, around 11:30, I went to go feed the animals, and I noticed they were missing.
He says there was no sign of a break-in and that whoever took them likely knew what they were looking for.
The place didn't look ransacked like somebody was trying to look for money or jewelry or whatever.
Wiesenthal says an acquaintance had been at the house the morning the turtles disappeared, but he says she claims she wasn't involved.
She denied it, and I took her for her word.
Now he's turned to social media and is pleading for his pet's safe return.
I'm offering, a $6,000 reward for the return, no questions asked.
Wiesenthal says he's concerned about the turtles' health and well-being, noting they require special care, including a controlled climate and a specific diet.
I've had them for years, and they're important to me. I guess you could say that with anyone who has had a pet for years.
An RCMP spokesperson tells CTV News Mounties received a report of the theft and say the investigation is ongoing. Daniel Helmerson, CTV News, Gimli.
This year's Folklorama marks a very special anniversary for one pavilion in particular. The Scottish Pavilion is marking 50 years of taking part in the annual ethno-cultural celebration. And standing by live tonight at the Scottish Pavilion is our own John Hendricks. And John, I imagine the energy must be pretty high this year. It's a big milestone.
It is a big milestone. Everyone is so excited and proud of their tradition, and really that is what Folklorama is all about. And if we know anything about the Scottish Pavilion, there's a couple of things that are supremely important. One, the kilts. You have to have the kilts. And secondly, you have to have the haggis. I've heard all about haggis, of course, but one thing I don't actually know is, what is it? So we're going to find out. We came into the kitchen, do a little bit of investigative reporting, and I'm joined now by William. William, the cook around here. Maybe you can just tell, what is haggis?
So haggis is essentially, it's a bunch of pig intestines. There's a bunch of intestines. It's usually cooked inside of the animal's stomach, but we do it with the essentially pig skin, like a pig bladder of some sorts. We put the different organs and stuff with different spices, salt, pepper, minced onions, and the way we like to cook it is nice and slow with boiling water. So
They've got like a witch's cauldron over here, Marilee. I'm going to point out to you, it looks as if, right, like a witch's brew going on, and it's really cooking it up well.
So the reason why we do it with water is, one, it keeps it more moist. When you do it in the oven, it dries it out. Right. So we put it at a simmer. Lisa and I came up with a great idea to have it at a low simmer, so we do it for a long period of time, usually it's about an hour or two. And after we're done, it comes to the proper temperature of 165 or above. And then we take her out, we take it out of the bladder, and we get it inside of our inserts like this, and we can do things like use it for poutine, we can serve it on its own, and it's... Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, when you hear that the intestines are part of something, you right away warning bells go. But the funny thing is, guys, in here, it's unfortunate that we don't have smell-o-vision, because it smells heavenly in here. And from what I understand, it tastes just as good. Fair to say, William?
100%.
This is what it's all about. This is discovering something incredible. Haggis, who knew? Not only does it smell good, it'll also taste good. And I'm going to find out in a few minutes. So I'm going to send it back to you so I can get a little bite of this.
I'm going to pretend you didn't tell me about organs and intestines and bladders and just go with it. It smells good.
You just don't want to know. It's just like hot dogs. You don't want to know how they're made. You just
You know what? I hear it's good, John, so enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, Air Canada is starting to cancel flights even before any Air Canada flight attendants walk off the job.
It's been 3 hours. I'm on hold, like waiting.
What the airline is saying about the disruption and where negotiations stand when we return. Taking a look at the markets tonight, crude oil lost 52 cents. The loonie made a slight adjustment. Gold futures added 930. The TSX gained 72 points. The Dow Jones jumped 463 points, while the Nasdaq added 31 points. The Premier, along with leaders in Manitoba's agriculture industry, are calling on Ottawa to step in and offer support to canola farmers. This in light of those heavy tariffs put in place by China yesterday.
The Chinese government has clearly launched the tariffs at this time of year to cause maximum impact and maximum uncertainty.
Canoe says he'd like to see the feds offer the same sort of support as was given to the steel and auto industries. He added the Prime Minister should also reveal how he's planning to get those duties removed.
Our crops are, weeks away, days away from being harvested. And what that means is that the maximum amount of money has been spent already by farmers to grow the crop. And on Tuesday morning, we lost our second largest customer.
China announced the anti-dumping duties of nearly 76% after a year-long trade dispute that began with Canadian tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles last year. Two Manitoba Indigenous groups have agreed to work together on major infrastructure and development projects.
All right,
Today at the Forks, the Southern Chiefs Organization and Manitoba Métis Federation signed a 5-year agreement. The agreement comes as the federal government looks to fast-track what it calls nation-building projects across the country as Canada deals with ongoing trade threats from the U.S. The two groups today agreed to ensure First Nations and Red River Métis voices are included in the approval of any Manitoba project proposed under the federal program known as Bill C-5.
Bill C-5 is a significant piece of legislation that creates opportunity for trade, clean energy, and infrastructure development. It must be implemented with the full respect for our rights, and that is what this MOU is also seeking to do.
The SCO and MMF say they'll work together to pursue Indigenous-led developments in areas including forestry, harvesting, and traditional economies. A Northern Manitoba First Nation is demanding Manitoba Hydro restore lake levels in their community. Members of York Factory First Nation arrived in Winnipeg today and protested at the Manitoba Legislature. The First Nation says 2 hydroelectric dams built and operated by Manitoba Hydro have caused water levels in Split Lake to fall drastically. Water levels are so low, the ferry that connects the community has had to stop operating, cutting off access to essential goods and medicine. The First Nation adds winter roads are also now less reliable, and one protester says it's more difficult to hunt and fish.
We have a portage that the fish spawn. There's no water there no more for the fish to spawn. So how are we supposed to get our fish? Hunting is going to be coming around the corner here right away. Fall. No water to go hunt. There's no water for our boats to go anywhere.
York Factory wants the province to order Manitoba Hydro to release more water into the lake. However, Hydro says due to drought conditions, releasing more water into the lake would jeopardize its ability to supply Manitobans with electricity over the winter and into next year. Hydro says it's provided 4 boats to move people and supplies to and from the community, and it's paying compensation under the terms of pre-existing agreements. Air Canada will begin canceling flights tomorrow, gradually suspending takeoff and landings to prepare for a shutdown. The phase suspension comes ahead of a possible strike by flight attendants starting Saturday at 1 a.m. Eastern. CUPE, the union representing the 10,000 employees, have given the airline 72 hours to reach a deal. CTV's Judy Trin now on whether there's an 11th hour solution to avert a strike.
Air Canada has started canceling flights to lock out its flight attendants, even before they walk off the job, leaving some in a desperate lurch. Marianne Barrow's weekend flight to LA was canceled. She may not get to her family reunion.
It's been 3 hours. I'm on hold, waiting. So I told my husband, drop me off at the airport. Maybe someone can help me from an Air Canada customer service. And they said they can't.
To explain why the airline is taking measures ahead of Saturday's strike deadline, Air Canada President Michael Rousseau says the airline regrets the impact of the disruption. He blames the disappointing conduct of CUPE's negotiators and says the risk of a strike can create chaos for travelers. The union representing 10,000 flight attendants said that Air Canada's offer doesn't keep pace with inflation.
The company came to us with a very minimal wage proposal. So they put 8% on the table in the first year, and that still would not pull our members out of the poverty level at the beginning.
Air Canada did offer a 38% increase in pay over 4 years, improved pension, ground pay, and crew rest, and an offer for binding arbitration. The airline will lose hundreds of millions of dollars if a strike can't be averted.
So they've struggled a bit with profitability the last quarter. So this is going to be something that will really hit the bottom line.
130,000 passengers could be impacted daily. For now, many remain on the side of the workers.
We think that they should get paid for what they're doing. If they're not getting paid for those hours boarding and deplaning, they should be paid for that.
For now, the federal government is staying on the sidelines, but offering mediators to help with negotiations. Federal Labor Minister Patty Hajdu says the best agreements are the ones the parties reach themselves. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers will resume talks with Canada Post on Friday. The two sides met with federal mediators yesterday. The postal workers rejected the company's last proposal, which would have increased wages but also added more part-time employees. Negotiations began more than a year and a half ago. A colorful part of the new Graham Avenue pedestrian zone is already in need of a touch-up.
Yeah, I mean, it's paint. It's not the end of the world. We'll figure out a way to repaint it, and off we go.
Public Works Chair Janice Lukes responded today to news the paint is peeling on the street murals along the former bus corridor a month after it was unveiled. The city says it's the result of decades of embedded oil and heavy use by large vehicles. While it was cleaned thoroughly, the city decided not to chemically treat the street to speed up the timeline and decrease the costs and chemical runoff.
We're trying to be bold. We're trying to do things differently. We're trying to move forward faster on a lot of projects. And summer in Winnipeg is short, so we wanted to get it out, experiment and see, and go from there.
The city and Luke say data from the pilot project will be used when considering the permanent redesign of the street. The project was funded from a grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies Asphalt Art Initiative. Funding for touch-ups will be available in the spring, but there is no money earmarked beyond that.
I'm John Hendricks at the Scotland Pavilion, where the Highland dancing is going on. Stick around. We got a lot more dancing and bagpiping coming up.
Your long-range forecast for Winnipeg starts Friday in the sun, a high of 23 degrees. Normal high for this time of year, still a little closer to 25. 22 on Saturday, continued sunshine. Then the models for Sunday, well, they're all over the place with respect to rain. Let's just say it's possible at this point with a high of 24 degrees. Then we start to warm up again next week, a mix of sun and cloud Monday, Tuesday, up to 25 on Monday, and then a hot high Tuesday of 27 degrees.
Well, we are now passing the midway point of Folklorama Week 2, but there's still plenty of fun to be had. Case in point, check out John Hendricks. He's always having fun, especially tonight at the Scottish Pavilion. John, what are you up to now?
I've been learning the Highland fling. I was trying to, you know, do the little dance type thing. It's
well, that's
very,
what that was.
Yeah, I have to tell you, because just by looking, you would not know. It's very difficult to do, I can tell you, especially when you are wearing dress shoes. So I'm going to actually cue the bagpiper, and they're going to... The experts, will let them do it while we learn a little more about how you do this dance, especially when you are wearing the proper foot attire. So Christine joins us now, and Christine, obviously my attempts at it were subpar, but when you look at these girls and they're doing their dance, amazing, right?
Yeah, they're great. These kids are just amazing dancers. They work so hard every day. A lot of them compete, and even our adult dancers who are in the back from Ina Sutton, they still compete and dance all the time. So they're just wonderful.
How does one, like, pick up all of these moves?
Well, you know, there's a lot of teachers in Winnipeg that do Highland dance training, and so it's a lot of work. You've got to come to class, you've got to put in some practice. Even the wee ones, they practice like 5 minutes every couple of days, and then the bigger girls sometimes practicing like 4 or 5 times a week.
And the interesting thing is, this is like the kind of dancing that has been done for time immemorial in Scotland, right?
Absolutely. So it's like historical dancing. Traditionally started with male dancing, and in war times and everything, it's become more females in Highland dance, but we're really trying to like bring the male dancers back into dancing, and we've got a lot of boys in Winnipeg dancing as well.
This is one of those things, it's really quite stunning to see, and thank you very much once again for joining us. Marilee, I have to say, as you saw earlier, my attempts at doing Highland dancing, not so great, but they do have something here where they're using swords, and I find that to be intriguing. I think I might be a little bit better with the swords. I don't know about that. We're going to find out. So I'm going to send it back to you. I'm going to go find a sword. You may think that sounds dangerous to have a reporter up on stage.
I'm a little worried.
Bunch of young people here, but I think it'll be fine.
Make sure you have the right foot attire.
It'll be fine.
Make sure you have the right foot attire,
That's when
John.
you need that. Yes, I got it.
Oh boy. Stick around, folks. We will check back in with John and his sword in a little bit.
It's gonna be good.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Yikes, Colleen.
Yes. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Well, as long as he hasn't gotten into the scotch down at that pavilion, hopefully we'll be okay.
One doesn't know for sure. I guess we're about to find out.
What is not, I guess it's kind of yikes, we could say, too, about the weather you're tracking headed our way, because it's not looking so good.
Well, pretty potent low-pressure system that developed out of Alberta is crossing Saskatchewan now. So let me take you there. All this rain crossing parts of that province now, all heading toward Manitoba. And you can see the city of Saskatoon is right in the middle of this line of rain that's about to make its way into that city. Saskatoon, by the way, under a severe thunderstorm watch right now. But a little further to the east, northwestern Manitoba, Lynn Lake and Brochet under a rainfall warning. So Environment Canada is forecasting between what will start to fall tonight, throughout the night and throughout the day tomorrow. As much as 50 millimeters of rain will fall in these areas. You'll see a good chunk of that come down in the town of Lynn Lake tonight, maybe 15, 25 millimeters tonight, and similar amounts throughout the day tomorrow. But other areas in the north outside these warned regions will see substantial amounts of rainfall as well. The higher amounts will come for areas furthest north, but a little further south you go. It won't be quite as much, but it will be significant, as you can see here in the futurecast. This is 10 o'clock tonight as the leading edge of that system starts to push into the province, and really over the next few hours, look what happens. Wow, it really picks up some steam. An awful lot of rain. You can see where that green turns to yellow and orange. That tells you that's an awful lot of rain headed to those areas. Meanwhile, over southern Manitoba, there's the outside chance of showers or a thunderstorm very early tomorrow morning or into the early part of the morning hours for us here in the Winnipeg area and the Red River Valley. But along with the rain in the north comes a hot, humid air mass that will affect us here in the south. We'll see temperatures spike right back up again into the upper 20s. Now, a cold front will pass with this system, and imagine, if you will, it's expected to slice into that muggy air mass, and that could trigger thunderstorms. Now, the best chance of severe thunderstorms is here in the Red River Valley and the southeast. The timing always a little hard to predict. Late afternoon or into the early evening. Look at this, 7 o'clock. Keep that in mind. There's a bomber game tomorrow night. And then as we move through the next few hours into later tomorrow night, you can see a lot of that activity pushes out of the province, at least out of the south. But you've got that rain continuing to wrap back around into northern parts of the province on Friday. For tonight, mostly cloudy. 16 is our low. Winds out of the southeast at 20. 19 for the commute. Mix of sun and cloud. Again, good possibility of showers tomorrow afternoon. 28 is the high. You'll see those winds strengthening too out of the southeast. Quick swing around the province. We'll see that rain start tonight in Thompson. 8 degrees there. More rain, possibly thunderstorms in that city. Up to 17 degrees, but that rain expands further east into Gillam and Island Lake. That rain heading your way tonight in the northwest. Flin Flon, you'll see your temperature rise to 15 overnight. And then Ocean and the Paw, that rain ends for you in the morning. Clearer conditions in the afternoon, but that rain will just keep on coming down for all those other areas, maybe with thunderstorms too. Brandon, Neepawa tonight, partly cloudy, down to 15. Dauphin and Swan River, good chance of showers or a thunderstorm yet tonight. Mix of sun and cloud around the region. The further south you go, the warmer you get, peaking at 27 right around Brandon. Winnipeg in the southeast tonight, the chance for some rain is up around Barons River. A few clouds for Winnipeg tonight, overnight lows 15, 16 degrees, and then a mix of sun and cloud with the strongest chance of showers coming tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Northwestern Ontario, pretty clear for the most part. Yeah, cloud right over tomorrow with temperatures between 23 and 25 degrees. To our weather photos we go. Lillian sent this photo south of let me try that again. That's a tongue-tying thing to say. South of Tolstoy. She says there's beauty in that fog. Clearly there is there. Lynn sent this photo, and she noticed how the leaf here in Winnipeg at Assiniboine Park just blends together with those clouds. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. Team Manitoba has added to its medal count at the Canada Games. Tegan Purvis came out on top in the 100-meter backstroke Special Olympics women's race. The team's first gold in these games. Maxine Lavitt swam to silver in the 100-meter backstroke para-women's race. Ben Purvis won bronze in the 100-meter backstroke Special Olympics men's race. And earlier today, Alexander Saramac earned a bronze in the canoe kayak C1 200-meter men's event. That brings Manitoba's medal tally to 7. However, I'm hearing more medals coming in as we speak, as events still ongoing tonight. Still to come, are you experiencing more episodes of sleep apnea lately? Researchers may have an explanation, and it doesn't look like it'll get better soon. Medical Watch is next. Wildfires and evacuation orders are complicating a number of competitions at the Canada Summer Games, forcing some events to be moved while others have had to be postponed. Hundreds of Manitoba athletes are at the Games in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. And joining me now to talk more about how the fire is impacting Team Manitoba is Senior Games Manager Drew Todd. Drew, good to speak with you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We've seen some dramatic photos of wildfire smoke pouring overhead at some of the beach volleyball games played earlier this week, which I understand is one of the sports now on hold for the time being. Just how close are these fires to the sporting venues? What are you seeing?
It's definitely a lot closer than what we're used to. I think in Winnipeg, there's kind of that haze that kind of sets down in the city for a few hours or most of a day or two. But you can actually see the billowing smoke behind some of these venues. So it definitely feels a lot more real. I think we did some, basic calculations on some Google Maps photos, and it's no more than, 15 to 20 kilometers in some situations near some of our venues. So it was a little bit scary there at times. I know some of the photos you're talking about there, and they were worrisome, but there is also a lot of wind whipping around, so it was getting rid of the smoke in the air pretty quick in some areas of town as well.
All right, that close proximity of those fires has prompted evacuation orders. I know game staff have had to quickly pivot to keep these games going. What is the latest for our Manitoba athletes? What sports are impacted the most right now?
Yeah, I do have some good news on that. It just came down in the last about hour or two, but 3 sports have really seen the biggest impacts. Beach volleyball, as you mentioned, it was put on about a day and a half postponement. Sailing's been postponed for 2 days. And lacrosse actually had to move it to a brand new venue in the middle of the night. We were breaking down change rooms and moving equipment. So we've had to make some modifications for sure in how we deliver those events, but we're able to get them through. But yeah, sailing is on for tomorrow. We just got the news, and we're really excited about that. And beach, everybody was on standby for that one. And we've been able to get some games in this evening. So they kind of started back up around 4 o'clock our time. I think it's about 1:30 Winnipeg time. Unfortunately, no spectators are allowed at the event, and they haven't been able to get the live stream going. So they're just going to have to kind of refresh the results and things. But we're really happy that at least the athletes are going to have that full competition experience and make sure that we get to a winner and see some medals handed out.
Yeah, saying that, what is the mood like? Because I know these games only come around once every 4 years, meaning for many of these athletes, this is their only chance to compete at a Summer Games. How important is it for them that these events do continue and go on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much that goes into the athlete experience here, but the core element of this and what they've been training for years and years is around the competition. So we really want to make sure that their hard work gets paid off, and we're finding ways to safely, keep in mind, execute the competitions in whatever form that may be. At least get to a point where we can have kind of an end result, and everybody can kind of feel satisfied that we had a deserving winner. But for sure, I mean, there's been a lot of conversations with the athletes, trying to keep them in the right mindset, embracing the chaos, being flexible and ready to kind of jump on things at a moment's notice. I'm not sure anybody in beach had any idea we were going to get the go-ahead this afternoon, but within an hour, our athletes were ready to go. Coach had talked to them and primed them, and hopefully we're going to see some good results out of it.
All right, this is just week 1. Week 2 athletes are likely sitting on pins and needles right now watching this. What is your message to them as they watch all of this play out?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see you guys for sure, and I think it's going to work out. I mean, today was a big turning point. We feel there's much less smoke we found in the air. Obviously, knock on wood, we don't want to make any positive conclusions one way or the other here, but things are looking great. And I feel like everything within the St. John's city limits, it's been okay. Like I said, there's a little bit of smoke that comes in the air, but it blows out of the way pretty quickly. So we haven't had to postpone any events due to air quality. So, athletes coming in, we're going to do everything we can to make sure we're prepared. We won't have to adapt on the fly. If we do think that we won't have access to venues, we will have those ready to go for the athletes when they touch down here in week 2.
Yeah, organizers doing a great job, including all of you guys from Team Toba. Now, at last check, I think our Manitoba athletes have racked up 7 medals. They're coming fast and furious in these first 5 days. Tegan Purvis capturing our first gold. Who should we be watching on day 6? Who are the Manitoba favorites?
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, you know, in team sports, we're getting into the medal rounds, right? So a couple of actually big quarterfinals going on right now in baseball and lacrosse. So if we see some good results there, they'll continue on and they'll be competing for some hardware. Luke Enns, our flag bearer in canoe kayak, he's been in quite a few events during the week, but they were not his specialties. But later this week, I think tomorrow is his kayak 200-meter sprint. So that's where he shines, and we're going to be out there cheering him on and supporting him. So yeah, definitely the schedule changes as we know on a day or hour-to-hour basis. So keep on top of that. But we're really excited to see some good performances here out of our Manitoba athletes, all things considered, with all the distractions going on. They're doing great.
Drew, let our Manitoba athletes know we are cheering them on from home. Very proud of them. Stay safe out there, and thanks for taking time to update us on the situation.
Yep, absolutely. I'll pass it on. Thanks, guys.
Obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA for short, is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep due to blocked airways. New research suggests rising temperatures can make it worse. Climate change may be making episodes of obstructive sleep apnea more common and harder to treat, according to a new Nature Communications study. Hotter weather significantly increases the risk of the sleep issue by as much as 45%, and even more for men or people who are overweight. Experts say common signs of sleep apnea are loud snoring, daytime tiredness, falling asleep during conversations, or a quiet activity. The majority of people with OSA don't know they have it and are untreated. According to new research, fast walking could be one of the keys to living longer. The newly published study involved tens of thousands of participants. They filled out a questionnaire about their exercise habits, average time spent working out, walking speed, and health. Roughly 16 years later, they completed another questionnaire. The data showed participants who fast walked for at least 15 minutes every day saw a nearly 20% reduction in premature death. So how do you know if you are walking fast enough? Well, according to the UK's National Health Service, you should be able to talk but not sing. Walking has many health benefits, such as managing weight and sugar intake, reducing the risk of cancer, and easing joint pain. Fast walking has been found to have specific benefits, such as decreasing risk of heart failure, arrhythmias, and type 2 diabetes.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manuka and Koster Denture Clinic. Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Brett Kissel.
You can experience Manitoba homegrown tastes, sounds, and experiences all in one place this weekend. The Street Feast Festival is happening at the Forks from Friday to Sunday. This is the third year for the event, and it's getting bigger and better every year. It features tasty food, a local market, and live music and dance performances, plus lots of family-friendly activities. More than 100 vendors will be cooking up food from all over the world, fresh right in front of your eyes. And best of all, it's free.
We love free, yes, and of course quality performances back to back to back, and it's a great way to support local and really keep the cycle of support going.
Street Feast runs Friday to Sunday at the CN Stage and Field at the Forks. For more information, visit streetfeast.ca. That's street with an E-A. More guests are being added to this year's Comic-Con lineup, and fans of the historical epic series Vikings won't want to miss out.
Come back to Frankia with me. You will have everything you need, everything you ever wanted.
Clive Standen, who plays the warrior Rollo, will be attending this year's pop culture celebration, along with Lucy Martin, who portrayed Ingrid in the later seasons. And for the Trekkies, they'll be joined by Gates McFadden, best known as Dr. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek The Next Generation and the later Star Trek movies. All three will be meeting fans, taking photos, and signing autographs, and will take the stage for a live 45-minute conversation. Comic-Con runs October 24th to 26th over at the RBC Convention Center. Your primetime lineup kicks off at 7 with MasterChef, followed by Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service. Then it's Battle of the Generations and Match Game, wrapping up the night at 10, all right here on CTV.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Highest temperature today, well, that was 22 degrees. The lowest was just 9, by the way. Let's see here. Let's move ahead, shall we? 16 degrees our overnight low tonight. Now, just before morning or early morning, there's an outside chance of a thunderstorm. Showers are much more possible in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm, and it could even be a severe one. We'll see how this develops. 28 are hot and muggy high tomorrow, sunny Friday and Saturday, 23, 22 degrees respectively. Rain is possible Sunday, although the models are all over the place about that one. 24 degrees, more consistency with respect to the forecast high. 25 Monday, 27 degrees on Tuesday.
Thanks, Colleen. Well, he's an A-list Hollywood celebrity who called Winnipeg home last year, and I guess our city made a big impression on Bob Odenkirk. The actor extolled the Peg's virtues on a recent podcast with late-night host Seth Meyers.
I liked it, and the same way I like Albuquerque, which is, it takes a little while to get to know it. You have your favorite places, and the people are awesome. We should do something.
Odenkirk filmed 2 movies in Winnipeg last year, including this one, Nobody 2. The Better Call Saul lead man spoke at length about Winnipeg on the Family Trips with the Myers Brothers podcast. His favorite neighborhood? Wolseley, he says. He also says the city could use a few more restaurants. Nobody 2, by the way, opens in theaters this weekend.
Should be
probably
good.
Find a lot of Winnipeg spots.
Absolutely.
And all right, that does it for us tonight. Have a good one.